and welcome to another episode of Neptune Novelties. This podcast is for all of those who want to relax a little bit and step away from the world that they have been living for today and would like to step into a new world. And all of the books that I talk about are happy ending, so that's a better word for sure. Today we're gonna talk about a book called The 7-Year Slip, which is written by Ashley Poston. And this book is more fiction based, and then there are a lot of romance involved. So the summary of the book is about this girl called Clementine and her aunt. Her aunt is a woman who's always ready for new adventures, and she's always traveling, and she has this apartment in New York, Upper East Side, the Monroe building. And according to her, this apartment is magical. So when Clementine is like 8 years old, her aunt tells her about the magic of this apartment, about the fact that this apartment changes time according to your life, and it's always 7 years apart. For example, you could be in this apartment right now, leave for a moment, and the next moment that you come back, it's gonna be 7 years before your current time. Well, Clementine, she never believed that story until she did. So this book, I think you should check the trigger warning, but it's not really disturbing. There are just a few scenes that are dealing with a sad kind of grief. And the reason that I say sad kind of grief is because from my point of view, grief is not always sad. Now, I will be saying some stuff, so I will be spoiling a little bit. But just because I literally just finished this book, and to be honest, I never want to read this book ever again. But not because it was bad. It's because it was absolutely so emotional and raw, and it really affected me a lot. I had to keep a set of tissues next to me while reading this book, not because it was sad, but because of how heavy it was. It was so emotional, and it was really, really beautiful, especially the moments where Clementine is, having memories and making memories actually with this guy who was there 7 years ago, Iwan. And yeah, I don't think I would ever dare myself to read it again, because it was just really a lot of emotions that many scenes made me feel. So I would say that this book did break me, but only to put me back together, but I don't think I want to give it a chance like that again. But it's an absolutely beautiful book, and if you want something really emotional and really pure, I absolutely recommend it. Now, let's get into more details. But before we do, I have to say that I did put bookmarks a lot. There were many, many, many quotes that I really loved. I think I could make an entire book out of my favorite quotes of it. But let me just read one. And it's that you will be happiest when you're on your own adventure, not someone else's. So there is this 7-year glitch, like I said, where Clementine and Ivan meet. And thankfully, I don't know if you know about the invisible strings theory, but that is also shown. And that theory is that when someone and something is yours, when you are meant to have them, when you are connected, there are some invisible strings between you and that something or that someone. And it could be as much as like you could have a lot of mutual friends with someone and be at the same place at the same time, but still not, get to know each other until you do. And that happened between Ivan and Clementine. And sometimes I really don't like some characters, especially female characters, just because they showcase some of the qualities, the reactions that I don't necessarily love about myself. And one of them is Clementine's fear of trusting and giving her whole to Ivan, which in the end they do. And I'm really happy for them, but now I find myself really hooked on a new fictional character, Ivan, that I will not be able to stop thinking about for a very long time. So like I said, Ivan and Clementine, they are connected, they meet. There are many different links between them that none of them know about until Clementine travels 7 years back. And what's more interesting is that she also meets Ivan, which his full name is James Ivan Ashton, and I'm not sure about the pronunciation, but it's such a beautiful name. I love his name, and I love that man. But in the present time, so like the present time James Ivan and Clementine's time, so the real time, Ivan is somewhat different than how he was 7 years ago, which is how Clementine is making memories with him. And the good thing is that he remembers her, but their present time is very complex, and he tells her that they shouldn't try again. But I guess again those invisible strings doesn't not let them try again. So his dream is to have his own restaurant, and his love for being a chef and food is passed on to him by his grandfather. And Clementine, she's very schedule-based. She has a degree in art history, but she's in publishing right now, and that's actually how they meet. Or the second time after, so like in current time. And I don't want to spoil too much, but their journey was really beautiful, and I loved how he always put her at ease without him trying to. And Clementine's aunt, she used to tell her that, you know, the exact moment when you fall in love with someone. And she never did. She had boyfriends and she traveled the world, so she was not alone, but she was emotionally closed off and never fell in love. So in present time, she's 29 and Iwan is 33. And even after, you know, that during that 7-year glitch, that 7 year slip, Iwan tried to replace her with other women. And also he has this beautiful nickname for her called Lemon. And that's really cute. And both of their favorite color is yellow. Not like a mustard yellow, more of a sunrise yellow. And if you read the book, you will know why the favorite color is significant. So there are a lot of back and forth, but in the end, they work it out, even though in the epilogue, it was a little confusing, to me at least. I didn't like the epilogue, but I did like the last chapter, and I did love their entire story, and I also really appreciate how they show that there is time and then there is timing. So, we can't control everything, even though Clementine did try to control everything, but we really can't. And it's right, you know, since we can't control everything, we can't plan everything, and we can't expect everything to work in the exact same way as we want. But when we have the freedom of timing, which is different than time, we can take control of that. Iwan took control of that, and he turned into a famous chef, and he did get his own restaurant, which, you know, 7 years back he thought maybe he couldn't make something out of himself. Clementine, she quit the job that she loved, but it didn't make her happy anymore, so she decided to start again. And when they were given that chance, they were the ones who changed their own minds to have a better timing, to take care of something they love. And for Clementine, the girl who always put her career first, it was to let go of that job because it didn't make her happy anymore. And I could say she did put Iwan as her #1 priority and to be there with him. And for Iwan, it was clear he had his business going, his dream came true at the restaurant, and Lemon only completed this dream. So if you are as emotional as me, or just even a little bit emotional, I'm gonna say that you are going to cry at some point, but it's gonna be worth it. I did not think that I would love this book this much, but I did. And it's a story of love and magic and timing, and the fact that we have to let go of some stuff to find or create the magic elsewhere with the people at places that makes us happy. And that was all for this episode. If you read the book, I hope you enjoy it and tell me what did you think. If you are an author or would like me to review your book, you can always contact me through email. Thank you for listening to this episode, and I hope it helped you unwind from everything else in your life. Hope to see you around soon. Laters.